Good morning, lovely tens. Well, it's our very first lesson together, my lovelies. I'm gutted I'm not there to see you face to face for the first 2 weeks, but I'm trapped in quarantine here, as I'm sure you have been told. But yeah, we've been really fortunate to start off the year with Mrs. Newton covering a whole bunch of your lessons, and pretty much what the plan is Miss Newton is gonna keep working through that fraction stuff with you, get you guys absolutely pro ace at that fraction stuff. And in the meantime, I'll start the next unit with you because I get to do 2 lessons with you this week. And then I'll actually get to meet you guys, or maybe not meet you, but I'll get to see you again face to face on Monday. So I'm quite excited about that. Yeah, so lovely tens. I know this is weird, but first lesson together and it's on YouTube. So let's do this thing. Okay. So our unit that we're going to be working on is a unit on area. Now I know that you guys are going to be really ace at area, but because now we're working toward GCSE and we're kind of in the big GCSE program now of maths, we're going to have to just do a little bit of revision just to make sure that you guys are super duper cool at it. So what I've done is I have come up with a really neat way of showing you how areas works. So yeah, let's do it. You'll all have this worksheet, or you will soon anyway, and hopefully, I hope it's been photocopied well enough that you can still tell what the buildings are, because I wasn't sure about that, how this would come out, but hopefully on your piece of paper you can tell what the buildings are. So you should be able to recognize this building. Does anybody have any idea where it is? That's right, it's Ulster Grammar School, my lovelies. So woohoo, it's our school, and we've got a picture of it from the satellite. Cool. So rather than getting you to do a whole bunch of boring regular practice, what I'm going to get you guys to do is we're going to do a project that's to do with our very own school. So boom, let's have a look. Okay. What I essentially want us to figure out is how much area the entire school buildings have. So not the whole school site, not including like the top field and stuff, which I've not even included in the picture, but just the buildings themselves to figure out how much area they take up. So I'm going to just start this investigation with you, and then you'll have a chance to just work through it independently or maybe just with your partner, and that should give the wonderful teacher that's there to look after you guys a chance to just kind of maybe get some of their work done, and you can get some of your work done, and it'll be a wonderful, happy environment for everybody. So how good is that as a plan, my lovely tens? Cool. So let's have a little look together. I'll start you off on it. Okay. So what we've got here is it says, look at the map scale. How many meters does 1 centimeter represent? Well, here's how I've done this. I've just cut and paste this off of Google Maps, and I cut and paste the bottom bit as well, and I was really careful not to zoom in or out, because that would have mixed up the map scale, because if you zoom in or out, it mixes up the map scale on Google Maps. So here's what we've got. See that little bad boy down there, the 20 meters? Here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your ruler, so you'll just need a ruler and a calculator. That's the only 2 things that you need for this, and your pencil. And here's what we are going to do. You take your ruler, and you're going to pop it over and measure how long that line is. So, I've got snap to grid on, so mine's going to be a bit tricky, I think. So I maybe just have to have a bit of a guess. I think on mine it's about 2, but I think you should go super accurately on yours just because I can't quite snap it over, right? So there you go, my lovelies. Can you see that? The 20-meter mark is about equal to 2 on mine. It would be if I could get it more accurate. Cool. So here's what you're going to do to start with, and you'll have to take your own measurements because obviously I can't see what it looks like on a piece of paper. But question 1 is just this then. So question 1. It says, look at the map scale. How many meters does 1 centimeter represent? Well, here's what you know. 2 centimeters, oops, I drew a C. 2 centimeters on the ruler is going to equal 20 meters in real life. Which means, what do we have to do then to get what every single centimeter represents? Well, have a look. It's like that ratio stuff that you guys got really good at in year 8. To turn 2 to 1, you divide by 2. And so we're going to have to do the same here on the 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So what you've got here is you've got that 1 centimeter on the page is equal to 10 meters in real life. Now again, I bet you yours won't be that because I didn't actually have a ruler and a piece of paper to do it with. I'm only doing it on the computer, so I bet you your conversion isn't exactly that. But anyway, that's what it is. Cool. Question 2 says this. How much area in meters squared does the entire school take up on the ground? So we're after kind of the school's footprint here, like how much area of land does it take. So just don't worry about that there's different floors on it and stuff like that, like, you know, in London and stuff where they've got big skyscrapers that people live in and stuff. It's not like that, and it's just the footprint that it takes up on the earth. So yeah, our building's on the ground. Here's how you're going to do it, my lovelies. It's really important. This is why I wanted to do the video, because I think you could do this mostly by yourself. But here's why I wanted to do the video, just to show you. With your ruler, which again, I can't access on this very well, you're going to draw this. Find the buildings and draw them into whatever kind of shape, like nice shape, they most accurately represent. So if you see what I've just done right here, that one's the sports hall in case you haven't sussed it yet. So yeah, we're like in here right now. You'd come in the door and there's the maths, like you come in the door here and then there's the math squad there and that's where we are. And this is the sports hall. Well, here's what you're going to do, my buddies. You're going to just block the school off into various buildings, okay? So I'm going to just show you the sports hall could make two nice ones. It's just two nice rectangles is what the sports hall makes. So there you go. There's two parts. So we're going to have to put both those parts together. Okay, that's step one. Step two is you're going to have to actually measure how long each of these sides is. So I'm going to do my best here to show you. So on mine, and this again is not a real ruler, it's just a ruler that I've zoomed in and out all on my own. But yeah, anyway, on this here, what I'm seeing on this side of the building is this part here is actually, this bottom part is about 4.2 centimeters, I would say. Cool. Now, what we're also going to have to do is get the other dimension as well. Because you guys know when you're doing rectangles, the formula for that is just going to be length times width, or base times height if you prefer. So length times width is the formula for this. This way, it seems to me like it is around 4.5 centimeters, I'd say. Or, yeah, about that. 4.5 centimeters. Cool beans. Now, that is the sports hall kind of getting started here. Now, I want its area, right? But the trouble is, I don't just want to find its area, say, in terms of centimeters, because it's not centimeters, right? It's a really big building, so we're going to want to do meters and meters squared. Now, you're going to want to do the conversion first, okay? So we're going to turn all of these centimeters into meters. For those of you who are super duper wanting an extension, you can maybe think about why you don't want to do the area first, because actually if we're doing area, you're not going to be able to use a regular scale factor. It's going to be an area one, which you'll learn about a little bit later this year. But anyway, if it's 4.2 centimeters, to get that into meters, well, all you're going to do is 1 centimeter is 10 meters. So what you're going to want to do is you have 4.2 of them, you're going to get times 10, 42 meters. Which seems big to me, so I think that my ruler's a bit off. This one here then, 45 meters. But say that yours was not 1 centimeter equals 10 meters, say it was 1 centimeter equals 1.5 meters, it'd be like 4.2 times 1.5. Do you see what I mean? You just have to times by that factor to make it work. Cool, cool, cool? Sweet. When that's done, take your 2 meter things, times them up together. So you ready? 45 times 42 equals, and the answer is 1890 for my one anyway. So here's what you're going to do. Just jot in there 1890 meters squared. Block it off, and that is that, okay? Now, it is a trickier than it looks, because I picked the sports hall maybe because it was the easiest, spoilers alert, but there's lots of buildings that are not so simple. So for instance, I would probably block this one off because that part of the building is bigger than the quad part of the building. I maybe would have it like this. See what I mean? You're going to have to draw tons of boxes to make this work out all right. And I would like just to see how accurately we can get the area of the entire school. See what I mean? I've overcounted a little bit there. But do as best as you can to get it as accurate as possible and add them all together. That's what we're going to do, okay? So I would like you to find the total area of the school. Now, just to make sure you get it all, so that's what your goal is. So that's going to be this part 2. For part 3, though, it says, which buildings have more than one floor? So then, following on from that, how much floor space does the school have altogether? Well, if you look at the new building, which I think is here, this guy here, the new one, you know for sure that that's 3 floors, right? The one that's got like, oh, which one's it called? Is it called Spencer? I think so. I always get these mixed up. Yeah, that new building, the one that has chemistry in it and food, tech, and languages, that one. It's yeah, it's 3 floors, right? So whatever you got for its area, you're gonna have to multiply then that by 3 because it's actually got 3 times as much floor space as a 1-story building would. Cool, cool, cool. So that's how you do 3, get the total floor space of the school. For question 4, how many desks could you fit in the school if there didn't need to be any space between them? Well, in order to do that, lovelies, you'd have to know how big a desk is, right? So let's use the maths desks because I think they're pretty standard. Just if you look at the desk that you and your partner are on, so there you are, and look how happy you are, and then there's your partner there, and look at how happy they are as well. Oh my word. And all you've got to do is just get how long this is, and get how long this is, and then you'll have the total area of the desk. Now don't forget, you need to get that in meters, okay? So we want the answer in meters. Okay, you need it in meters because everything else is in meters. Cool. So how many desks could you fit in the school if there didn't need to be any space between them? So if you could just have desks only and no room for students, so completely inefficient school. But yeah, tons of desks in this school. Next question. If a student needed a space of 1 meter behind them, oh, you can tell I made this in pre-COVID times, can't you? So 1 meter between themselves and the desk, how many desks could you then fit in the school? Well, that's like including this area as well, which you guys would need to feel comfortable because your chairs have to go there and you don't want to be squished up on the desk behind you. So yeah, I hope that you get it. That's pretty much the whole task. I would like you just to do this as accurately as possible. I know it takes a while, but it is kind of cool, and I think it's really neat that we can figure out how many students there that you could actually fit in the school. So I know the school feels like it's pretty full, but I wonder what the actual capacity could be if you just wanted people sitting in desks and so on, and that was it. I wonder how many people you could get in the school. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's our first lesson together. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys in person. I know it's not ideal doing this online, but I hope it's okay. I hope it's okay for just this week. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. I'm really excited to teach our class. Love year 10. It's such a good year. I hope that you will really, really like maths this year. It's one of my very favorite years to teach, so I'm really pumped to get to teach you guys. So cool. Talk to you later, buddies, and see you next week. Bye, buddies!